Okay, so there was one very specific time in my life where I was in the friend zone, and I look back at this period of my life, and to be honest, I fucking hated it. Like, it's just the worst thing to be in the friend zone. Um, the girl that I was in this sort of friend zone with was a girl. Basically, we'd had a bit of a thing. In the summer, as you do. And then we just kind of went back to being friends. But I still really liked her. And I really wanted to... I thought that maybe something would happen again at some point if I made myself available and if we hung out together. And so we were friends and we saw each other quite a lot. We'd go for walks, we'd go around each other's houses, we'd text. And yeah, in some sense it was really great because I had access to this girl who I really liked. Spending time with her, I was in a kind of privileged position, she'd talk to me about stuff that was sort of her personal life, I confided with her a bit about certain things as well, and it was a time in my life where I was on like my gap year and all my mates had gone to uni. I was working in this shitty job in a supermarket. I was in a village, couldn't drive yet, so it's not like I was doing much anyway, So yeah, I just ended up seeing quite a lot of this girl, and every time I went round to her house or she came around mine, I thought maybe today something will happen, maybe the vibe will just be right today and something will happen. And every time it never did, and it was just an endless loop that was so detrimental to my sense of happiness, my sense of fulfillment. It was really, really shit. And I want to talk a bit about how you can avoid this kind of situation, like what I've learned from it myself. So it might sound like I'm stating the obvious, really, but the basic thing with the friend zone, the reason why you get in the friend zone is because you're unwilling to you're unwilling to sort of walk away, basically. You're being given, like, you want one thing, right? You want to be in a relationship with this girl. And you're not being given that. You're being given something that's kind of some way in between, like, if on the one hand it's like being in a relationship with them, on the other hand it's like not knowing them. You're somewhere in between where you're mates, you're somewhere in between, so you're sort of compromised. And in a sense, it's like, well, why wouldn't you just be mates with this girl? What harm does it do? But this is one of those situations that you just have to walk away from, really. If you like a girl and she doesn't want to, you make clear that you want to be with her, and she doesn't want to be with you, but she just she still wants to be friends with you. Like, leave it at that. You know what I mean? Be prepared to walk away from that. And you might say, like, well, why couldn't you just be friends? Like, what's wrong with being friends? Surely it's better than nothing. And the trouble is, that's not true. It's worse than nothing. I think realistically, in this scenario, I would have been better not seeing this girl at all than being friends with her. That would have been much better for me. And why do I say that? Because, at the end of the day, I was having interesting conversations with her. She's an interesting, but she's a nice person. I learned, in a way, I got valuable experiences from it. But what I'm not factoring in is all the mental energy I wasted worrying about, thinking about something that would happen. Ultimately, I was only being friends with her not because I actually enjoyed her company. You know, not to say that I didn't, but that wasn't the reason why I was seeing her. The real reason I was seeing her was because I didn't, I wanted to be in a relationship with her. And so don't sort of deceive yourself with like cope of being like, oh, you know, well, you know, it's still nice to be friends, you know, it's still nice to hang out even for just friends. Because realistically, like, you probably don't need more friends, you know what I mean? Like what is this, like, half the time, you know, you've probably got a group of friends anyway. Do you really need to spend time with another girl? And you might be like, oh, her personality's great, you know, whatever. And it's like, sure, but if she wasn't, you know, as attracted to you as she was, would you still hang out with her? And, you know, some people might say yes, but truthfully, like, a lot of these friend zone sort of situations, they only occur when, you know, because you're attracted to them, you know. And if you weren't, it wouldn't happen, you know. You're not going to get in the friend zone with someone you're not attracted to. So that's kind of what I'd say. Now, obviously, this sounds quite a hard line, you know. And I think, like, yeah, if you're in like a friend group or something like that, and there's someone in that friend group that, you know, you like, but she doesn't like you back, you know, you don't have to burn bridges in that scenario, you know, you can just be friends in that friend group. That's fine, but, you know, I think the situation I'm talking about with friend zones, where you're kind of just one-on-one friends, like, if me and this girl had been like in some big friendship group, then it wouldn't be such a big deal, but we weren't, you know. I didn't know any of her friends, she didn't know any of my friends, you know. It was kind of like one-on-one friendship, and that kind of thing you got to walk away from, you know. And I just look back on it, and I just wish that I said to this girl, like, I just wish I realised that I didn't want to be friends with her, really, you know. Like, I was doing things that I wouldn't do. I wasn't doing it for friendship, you know. I was only doing it because I was attracted to her and I thought there was some chance of something happening. And yeah, I just wish I turned around to her one day and said, like, look, like, I like you. I want us to be together. And if not, then I'm not really that interested in hanging out with you. Like, truth be told, not to say that she's not a lovely girl, but that's just how it is. You know, I'm not really interested in being your friends. And yeah, obviously it's very harsh, but I think you just save so much time and you have so much respect for yourself if you can walk away from that kind of scenario. So I just think if you find yourself in this scenario, like, just be very upfront about how you feel, you know, and give them the chance to reject you, basically. That's what you want to do. And give a kind of, don't try and make a compromise with it, you know. Like, obviously, like, in life you have to make compromises, whatever, but in this certain instance, like, you're not going to get what you want, ultimately, you know, and the desires that have put you in the friend zone, they're not going to be, sort of solved if you stay there, you know. And if you really want to maximize the chance of you being with this girl, then the best thing to do by a country mile is to walk away when she says she's not interested in you, you know. And I reckon if I had done that, you know, who knows, I think it would have had I would have left a different impression, you know. So anyway, guys, yeah, it's really as simple as that. Hopefully there's something you can take away from this. As always, top link in the description. Love to hear from you. But apart from that, it's been a pleasure, and we'll see you in the next one.